Quickie here. Unsurprisingly, Koo likes to go all out for Christmas decorations. And since we have a ton of black lights from Halloween, we thought, why not try to find a way to use them for blacklight Christmas? White actually turns out to fluoresce quite well in a lot of cases, some better than others, but basically many white materials cheat a little bit. They use brighteners that turn invisible UV into extra blue light, and under a black light, that trick gets supercharged, and they really jump out. You've probably seen this if you ever had on a white shirt or something around a black light. So fluorescent, white, outside black lights, obviously snowflakes. And because when you just got a laser cutter, all problems become laser cutter problems, I made a whole bunch of snowflakes. In this video, I'll go over some of the various things I made this year for our Christmas decorations. Don't worry, I'm not going to get super technical or anything. We cut all of these snowflakes out of paper, specifically just white poster board from Office Depot. We actually went into the store with a little black light flashlight to find the ones that reacted the best. Yes, that felt a little crazy, pulling out all of the different papers and shining lights on them, but it turns out it's their in-store brand paper that they sell in 22 by 28 inches that's got a slightly glossy surface on one side. These fit in the work area of my laser really well, so it worked out perfectly. So the fun part about this is that they're going outside, and we need to laminate them so they don't just melt away from the damp air. We're going to hang them on some lines so that they look like they're floating at night, and they look pretty good on a wall too. Since we don't have a giant laminator, Koo is laminating them by lining up a bunch of laminator sheets and then ironing them together. We were telling some friends of ours about this when one of them had an idea for a better way. She happens to have a mounting press that's used for mounting film prints onto backing for photography. It's basically a giant press that heats up to a specific temperature on the top and then presses things super flat. She let us borrow it, and it works great. Some of them are still slightly too big to fit in there, but we can do it in 2 passes. To prepare our snowflakes to go outside, we're going to laminate them. So then to do that, we're going to cover them with lamination film, hi buddy, shiny side out, and then cover that with parchment paper to prevent sticking, and then cover that with craft paper. And then you're going to put it in one of these. Or if for some reason you don't have one of these, I don't know why you wouldn't, you would use an iron. On ours, it's about 3 or 4 is about 275. You can use an infrared thermometer to check for yourself and see what your iron is. Okay, so I'm ready to go, and I'm going to put this in, and I'm just going to go all the way to the back. All the way to the back. And there we go. I have the top aligned. And then so on this machine, with the pressure, I'm going to put it in for a little over 2 minutes. And we're just going to go down and start a timer. We've been using the new laser cutter for all sorts of Christmas decorations. I also cut out some stencils we used to paint the path to our front door with fluorescent paint. The glow hollow driveway paint is still there, so it had to go to the path. For these, we got some quickboard pieces from Maker Stock to cut them out of. This stuff is made from recycled paper, and it's a little bit sturdier than your typical paper, and it cuts great on the laser. I also made a couple of ornaments for the outdoor tree. A small blacklight Christmas preview here. Koo will get into more details on all of it pretty soon. We've got this cool Mandarin orange thing that just lights up like crazy under the black lights. It's from this free design I found online. I had to adjust it to scale to the thickness of the material, but that's just increasing the size in proportion with the size differences of the material. I'll put a link to the original in the description. I also grabbed some of our mushroom designs from Glow Hollow and cut them out in green acrylic. These of course glow very nicely, and it's a nice callback to Halloween, I think. Anyway, they turned out really well. I'm pretty happy with them. When working with fluorescent acrylics, it's important to have cuts, and a lot of cuts on the inside because the fluorescence shows up best along the edges of the acrylic. If you're still with me going on about all of this stuff, it might be a sign that you should do the things with the buttons that everybody has to talk about on YouTube and subscribe to this channel. For the indoor tree here, I made a couple of ornaments to go with this year's animal theme. Every year, Koo picks out an animal to use as a theme for stocking stuffers and silly things, usually an ornament or 2. This year, it's the quokka from Australia, which if you haven't seen pictures of these guys, oh my god, they are ridiculously adorable. Anyway, I made a simple ornament from graphics I bought on Etsy. For our tree, we cut it out of orange acrylic, but actually I think the one I made out of this simple birch plywood looks really good. When you're cutting acrylic, make sure you're cutting on the right side. I didn't realize that this particular one had an unfinished and a polished side, and the first one I cut out was engraved on the wrong side. Oops. I tried making another design using inlay, but it really didn't turn out well. I'm just getting started with this stuff, and I successfully did some inlay on some Star Trek insignia coasters that I made for my uncle, but then I tried to get cute with clear wood glue, and it all just went poorly. I'll give it another go when I have some more time, but we've been super busy with all of this. Well, I certainly got some mileage out of the laser cutter this year. It's been a super fun toy to play with. It's amazing how much being able to accurately position something along 2 axes and precisely control it unlocks. If you happen to have anything that you like to make for Christmas, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Now, go find some creative endeavors for the holidays. Happy Christmas!